Yeah.
Most of the businesses that are successful, it's because somebody has just continually pumped money in until they became successful.
The biggest challenge you faced?
Money. Money is always the biggest challenge. Money is the lifeblood of any business.
Right.
It's the oxygen, it's everything. Yeah,
We're just dreamers.
We're just dreamers. We're just a brand for all.
You own 50% of Tena, Durrani?
I do, yeah. Well,
oh my god,
I do, but
ladies!
there's no one more generous than a man in love.
Oh.
If I ever had to do it again, I would never even imagine that I could do it again.
Yes.
Obviously, there's hard work, but honestly, it's God's grace. That whatever everyone's doing, try and do the opposite.
Welcome back to my show Hello Zehra, जिसकी होस्ट मैं हूँ उल्टी पुल्टी उर्दू स्पीकिंग ज़ेरा। और आज जो मेरे साथ बैठे हुए हैं वो एक बहुत ही शानदार कंपनी का सीईओ है और उन्होंने कंपनी को बहुत एक हाई लेवल पे लेके गया है with listening to what the people want, what the market needs. I would love to welcome to the show my good friend Taimoor Shah.
What an amazing intro.
Okay, you were looking a little like, what is she gonna say? So I was like, okay, let me just, figure something out. So
no, because I don't actually, we're very, like me and Tena, when we work, right? We do everything like ourselves. We're very sort of like just in our element and zone. So we don't think of ourselves in that kind of light, like, oh, I'm a CEO of a company. Like half the time I think I'm like the rider or runner of the company. That's literally what I'm doing half the time.
Hilarious.
Just organizing people's lives for them. So,
wow, man.
But yeah, thank you for that intro. That's amazing.
Thank you so much for taking the time to come. And, I've been wanting to call you on the show. And you were like, no one's going to see my episode. I was like, this is the episode people are going to want to watch,
Let's hope we can make it entertaining.
So we always begin the show with a breathing breath.
Okay.
To calm everyone down, and then
Okay.
Okay.
I'm totally calm, by the way.
You are
100%.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. Okay, 1, 2, 3, in, and. So, जब आप सुबह उठते हो, like you see your phone right away, or you meditate?
Yeah, I've
pray
been
or
trying not to see my phone because I saw this clip on YouTube. And I'm sure you've probably seen it because there's that guy who says that you have to remain in your alpha waves. Have you seen that clip?
Of course. What's his name? Vision Lakhiani.
Yeah. And then he said that
count down to 100 to 1.
Yes. I've been trying to do that. Like, it's crazy, right?
Dude, I swear. As soon as I get to like 80, I'm like, either I'm falling back asleep or I'm like...
He goes, so as soon as you wake up, you check your phone and now you're out of your alpha thing. And when you're in your alpha thing, you get like better money and better this and better that. And I'm like, wow, better money? Okay,
better money,
Put the phone away. I'm in. So I tried it for like 3 days. I got to like, I think 95 or 90 or something.
Oh my
And then
God.
I was just like, wait a minute, now what am I supposed to do? Because I only watched that clip and I forgot to actually check what I'm supposed to do once I'm in the meditative state. So then I just got bored of it and I just couldn't. It's like, it's a proper process. It's like 30 days you have to do it. And apparently all these famous like inventors like Edison used to do it. And he said that he would look like he's asleep while being awake. And he would be getting these eureka ideas. And funnily enough, I feel like it happens more to creative people because I sit obviously with Tena at the office. And when she goes into design mode, it's like she glazes over and like you could be talking to her and she's not there anymore. And she's just in this other zone and she's thinking of stuff and then suddenly she's sketching something.
On that note, how did you, and Tena meet? How did you decide to help her? And how did you, become the CEO?
So we met actually a long time back at a coffee shop. And so she asked me to help with her books and things like that. And I did. It was really obvious that she needed to grow because she was trying to run her household on the earnings of that business. But it was just too small to support what she needed,
Yeah.
So I told her that, you need to hire more people, you have the work, you need to get more, you need to expand, get some machines, all of this stuff. And then when she did all of that, she said, look, I can't manage this or run this. So why don't you just take 50% of the company and just be the CEO and you manage everything and I'll do the designing and it's going to be great. right?
Wow!
Yeah.
Oh my God! So
she
you
was,
own 50% of Tena Durrani?
I do, yeah. Well,
Oh my God!
I do, but
ladies,
she
ladies.
keeps trying to get that 1% so that she can be majority partner.
Okay, nice.
But
Okay,
yeah,
nice.
technically and officially, we're
Well, Mubarak बहुत
Yeah.
on that. Amazing. तो
Yeah.
मुझे बताएं that how many challenges you faced when, or maybe the biggest challenge you faced when growing from a small business to a bigger one, which obviously now you guys are.
Money is always the biggest challenge. Like, if you look at any company, what is, like, if you just think about all the different businesses that are in this country, you always hear like, oh, their startup got funded, Mubarak, right? Because
Yeah.
that is the main thing. If you have money is the lifeblood of any business. It's
Right.
the oxygen, it's everything. If you have money, no matter how many mistakes you make, you can compensate for it with the money. And if you don't have money, what ends up happening is that you have to be perfect and you can't take risk. So that was our biggest challenge, was because we didn't have money. Like, we started the company on like 100,000 rupees or something stupid like that. Yeah. Every decision, every collection, everything that we had to do was literally like the end. If it didn't work, it was over.
Yes.
I really put down a huge amount of our success. Obviously, there's hard work, but honestly, it's God's grace. Because if it wasn't for the opportunities that He must have created or done, there's no way we would have survived. How can you make a business with 1 lakh? Like, even now when I think about it, it's so stupid.
Like,
Whenever I get a lot of people that come to me for advice about their businesses or just in general or the clothing, and they're like, oh, well, how did you do it? And I was like, dude, don't do it the way we do it.
You want to know, man. You don't want to know.
Yeah, it was absolutely insane. Like, you cannot imagine 2 people just like deciding, okay, chalo, we'll become a designer label and we've got like 100,000 rupees between us. Like, great. So now I always tell people, if you have an investor, if you have someone willing to give you money, if you have a rich family and they're willing to fund it, take the money. Okay. Always take the money. Like, never.
Always take the money. You can't have enough money, honestly. And that's what
if you had like, even if you're doing something at a small scale, but let's suppose you have $10 million lying in the bank. So what's the problem? It doesn't mean you don't have to deploy your capital straight away. Of course. You can go aista, slowly, right? And see the response and let it grow organically, which is the right thing to do. But yeah, always take the money, because like, that's what you're doing business for usually, But
also, there's no free lunch. Like, when you take the money, you have to.
You do, but look at our industry. Everybody in our industry is either funded or they're from very rich families who have put in a lot of money, right? I can't really think of anybody off the top of my head who's made it from like having nothing or nobody supported them whatsoever, like, I honestly can't think. So if there is an example, maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right.
But generally, designers are one of the few industries where almost everybody has either super rich families that are helping them, or that they had a huge influx, or they had an investor, right? Yeah. When you look at any other business, most of the businesses that are successful, it's because somebody has just continually pumped money in until they became successful.
Yes.
And then obviously after that, then people forget your origins or whatever.
Of course.
But you needed the money in the first place. You couldn't have made it without that money. Right? Because it compensates for everything. If you make a mistake, the money can make you survive for another season.
100%.
Or another product line or another product launch or whatever it is that is your industry cycle, So that's just always take the money.
And that's what my grandfather always tells me. He's like, Zehra, business is like a tennis match. You have to win the round to keep playing, you know, and the goal is to keep playing. So I think of it as like, you need money to keep playing the game, like, the game of business.
You have no margin for error, because okay, if we don't get a certain amount of sales or don't get these deliveries,
there's no next
then
round.
We're dead.
Yeah.
So now what do we do? Which is one of the things that, like all of my friends always sort of like, you did it the hard way or the right way. And I always say to them, there's no honor in doing it the right way. Trust me.
Really?
Yeah. If I had a rich uncle or a rich whatever, or I had 5 plots, why would I say no to that?
Yeah.
It's so much harder. And you don't get, the thing is, you don't get extra points.
You don't get extra points because
Nobody-
at the end, no, everyone sees the same.
Clients don't care that I
Yeah.
did it the hard way.
No one cares.
Vendors
honestly.
don't care.
Yeah, they don't.
My labor doesn't care. Everybody just wants their own end, which is why I always tell people, yeah, if you have these advantages, if you have a rich family, if you have investors, if you have whatever, always take it. Never say no. Never try and do it the hard way.
Yeah.
Because if you're going to be a success, then you'll be a success that way as well, right? Like,
Correct.
you just make it easier for yourself. Why would you want to do it the hard way? If I ever had to do it again, I would never even imagine that I could do it again. If you had to,
Really?
yeah, because look, I'll give you a small example.
Yeah,
So
please.
we ran out of money, okay, and we have to pay our labor every 6 days, right?
Okay.
At that time, I had an MCB credit card with 100,000. This is back in like 2011 or something.
$100,000.
100,000 rupees.
I know.
For limit, $100,000. 100,000 rupees. And back then, everybody was doing print magazine and billboards and all of this stuff. And we just couldn't afford it, right?
Yeah.
Like who had a 1-2 page ad was like, I think it was 40,000 a page. So
Oh,
it was
no.
80,000 for 2 pages, right? So I said to Tena, look, Facebook is there. It's new.
It's free.
I've got 100,000 rupees on my credit card. Why don't we just try doing some Facebook marketing? Like, nobody's doing it. Let's just give it a go.
Wow.
At worst, fine, I burned through 100,000 rupees, but we have like 30 days to pay for it,
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. Worst case, I'll default on the credit card. So I put in my credit card. I was learning as well at that time because
Yeah.
it was all brand new, social media
Of
and
course,
all of
yeah.
that. I ended up putting in an ad campaign. And I think at that time, the dollar was 100 or it was 80 rupees a dollar. I don't remember. And so I said, okay, fine, I'll spend $200 and let's see what happens. And we promoted one outfit. Literally within an hour, we got like 8,000 likes or 10,000 likes on that outfit. And like, it was like hundreds of comments, like price. And I used to do the marketing, like the responding to clients back then. I still do the responding to clients. Clients don't know this, but I still respond to them personally. And we booked like 30 outfits. It was only like a 15,000 rupee jora, but it was just like, it
just opened your eyes to the possibility of
exactly.
marketing over e-commerce and social media and all of that.
And that's
Dude,
what
that's
actually
amazing.
saved us
That
that
saved
week.
you. Yeah, that's
right? Otherwise, we would have been dead that week.
No, because good for you, because you were on the trend,
Yeah.
You were like before even, then subs shuru ho
Our
gaya tha,
strategy has always been that whatever everyone's doing, try and do the opposite. Where everyone is going crazy, do something so different to that so that there's a reason for them to come to us, because we don't have a family of 300-400 people that are going to buy our clothes anyway. Right? We don't have a following of people that are going to support us. We're not from a particular cross segment. Like, we're not Khani or we're not like Sindhi or anything like that. So like those people will come to us. We're just
people,
a brand
dreamers.
for all. Yeah,
we're just dreamers.
We're just dreamers. We're just a brand for all.
Yeah.
So because we didn't have any one particular following, we couldn't rely on any one particular group of people coming to us.
Yes.
So we always just had to try new things and to be different, to stand out, so that people would then notice us. Otherwise, there's so many. There's like literally hundreds of designers. Like, why would you care about any one of them,
Wow.
So that was always something that we tried to do, that if people were doing a particular type of advertising, we'll do a different type. If they're making a particular type of product, we'll do a different type. If they're going for certain looks, we'll do the opposite of those looks, so that for those people that do want that, then we're like the only ones doing that.
Yes.
We were the first ones to start naming our pieces.
No way.
Yes.
Congrats. Now everyone's doing
Now
that.
everyone names them.
Yeah.
But back then, we were the first to name them.
Trendsetters, man. Trendsetters over
But
here.
that was actually just a way of standing out.
Yeah.
Again, that was just one of those little things that, because also back then, we used to have inventory restraints. Now we used to just get kapra and utna hi kapra bana ke de sakte the. We didn't have like huge stock or inventory because we couldn't afford it. Again, when you don't have like a complete free hand, And I have to look at all of the difficult, what I tell people, the not fun stuff is what I do.
Yeah.
I have to manage and make sure that we can meet our obligations,
Yeah.
that we can, pay everyone we have to pay, deliver everything that we have to deliver, and make sure that we don't fail on any of our commitments, because we are basically taking part in the most important day of people's lives up until that point, in their life, So it's a huge responsibility. It's a responsibility we take very seriously.
Yeah. Would you consider yourself financially independent now, and like you as a person, you can do whatever you want? And
I mean, I think we're very grateful, alhamdulillah, to God for everything.
alhamdulillah.
And there's no I actually feel very blessed, because I feel very comfortable in doing whatever needs to be done, because I just feel that God will make it happen.
Oh,
I don't know,
yes.
like what it is, but I just feel like if I need 5 lakh, or I need 10 lakh, or I need 50 lakh, or whatever I need, or crores, or it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Whatever I need, I feel like God will just make it happen.
Yeah,
So,
God will arrange that for you.
as long
Make
as
him your
I'm
best friend.
willing to work hard. So the work ethic has to remain.
Yeah.
So I don't really worry too much about like things, if you know what I mean. I'm not, I don't mean to make that sound like I'm like disconnected from reality. Like electricity bills are massive,
Of course,
food expense is massive, like everything is so expensive nowadays, right?
Yeah.
But I feel that if you sit and complain about it, then you're going to get bogged down, and it's going to mentally attract a lot of negative energy. And I think if you just say, okay, you know what, fine, that's the reality that we live in. And if you want better things for your life, just work harder. And God will make it happen, right? Because it's not, look, He doesn't want you to be poor. He doesn't want me to be poor, right? He's not sitting there going, well, I want them to struggle, right? He wants to give you 10 times what you think that you even deserve, So even when I say, okay, oh yeah, one day I want to be number 1 on the Forbes list, that's actually my goal, right? Amazingly enough. And
amazing.
Probably never going to get there.
Inshallah,
but
you will.
That's my goal.
Yeah.
I have no clue how I'm going to do it. But I just feel that if I just keep working, maybe God will make it happen somehow, some way. Maybe, I don't know, LV will buy my company, or maybe he'll just make us so big, or I don't know what will happen. But but you only get there if you think that way.
Yeah.
If you think that, oh, like this is so expensive and I can't do this and I can't do that, then you'll get stuck in the can't do stuff, and you won't like think about the good things.
Yeah.
And every time, it's so funny, every time anyone has ever ripped me off, like in the industry or whatever.
Yeah.
Right? Like there was a time I told you, this multi-brand store, they took 35 lakhs from us. Okay, which was all of the money in the world that we had. Okay.
Oh my God.
And I thought, okay, now we're gonna get done, right? And literally within 12 months, that money didn't even matter. And we had gone, like at that time, that multi-brand store had a huge building, and we were in that tiny mezzanine that you came.
Yeah.
And within 12 months, that multi-brand had lost that building, and we had gotten a building. And I was just asking God, okay, please give me back my 35 lakhs. And God gave me back so much more, so that I could go and afford a building and create an actual big brand, or quasi big brand, right? Wow. And similarly, lawn, somebody ripped me off in that, stole like all my fabric. I got compensated, and a lot of not nice, pleasant things happened to them, not from us, but like just generally in their lives, Yeah. So
karma,
I always, whenever, if anything bad ever happens to us, always tell Tina, don't worry about it. This is great. If somebody just robbed us 10 lakhs, great.
Great, because God's going to give you 10.
Because I know now I have that. And that's also why I don't worry about things as such, because I've seen it so many times that things that should have led to us shutting down and no longer existing. And really, how could we exist when everybody in our industry is basically a billionaire? How could we even exist? It makes no sense. So for me now, I'm very like relaxed. I feel like God will just sort it all out.
Yeah.
No issue, you know.
Yeah.
Just get to work. Just get to work. Do your best. Be honest.
Yeah.
That's a big thing.
Okay, that's a lot. So tell me about your personal life a little bit. Like, do you have a girlfriend? Are
I
you
don't.
married?
I'm not
Really?
married. No girlfriend, not married.
Oh my god, so it's just like work, work, work.
No, it's not just work. I mean,
I mean,
like,
you have parties because I've come to your
yeah,
party one time.
we have
It was
a
a
good
fun
time.
party.
We have a
Yeah, it
good
was a
time.
good time.
But I think you also have to be very careful with the decision of who you like commit your life to.
Right.
You have to. It's the single most important decision you're gonna make,
Yes.
and
You don't want to make mistakes.
and
Yeah.
it has the ability to impact everything in your life. And
Oh.
and I've had, obviously, you know, a lot of the people that I've been with in the past and whatever.
No, I have no idea, but you don't have to tell me
I
here.
don't have. I'm not gonna name names, but
So you have had experiences in the past, like being with someone.
yeah, of course.
Okay.
I mean,
okay.
obviously.
Okay.
Well, I also think that for men, it's a maturity thing. I don't think a man becomes a man till you're in your 40s anyway. You know,
Yeah.
I don't really think that when you're in your 20s and your 30s,
You were
are
a
not
man,
the
yeah.
final guy that you're going to be.
Oh wow. Okay,
You know,
that's
I
good.
think there's a lot more growing up and a lot more maturity that you have to get to. And I think that this world is not an easy place, you know, and so you need to be able to be tough, you know, and you need to go through certain things because then you're not, when you're married, right, you have to be not just tough for yourself, you have to be tough for your partner as well. So the first,
Yeah.
like, let's say, I don't know, 5-10 years, it was done. I didn't really take it very seriously because I was like, man, I can barely afford myself.
Yeah.
Who am I going to bring in? And then what misery am I going to put her into? Like, not misery,
That's
but like,
respectful of you to
yeah,
even
but
think
like,
of that. Like,
you know, I
know,
feel
like-
like if you can't,
you've chosen the startup life.
if you can't,
not,
if you
know.
can't take that person for a holiday, or if you can't buy them nice things or take them out for nice dinners, then why would you do that? Like,
Ah, right.
it's just going to create issues because that's
Yeah.
and for me, firstly, I don't really believe in gold diggers per se, right? Because
Okay.
I feel that like everybody wants more. I want more,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So I would be very surprised if the person that I'm with wouldn't want more.
Right.
Obviously gold diggers do exist, but then for me, those are people that would not be with you if it weren't for your money,
Yeah.
right? So you have to try and avoid those people.
Of course.
right?
Yes.
So then the other thing becomes, how do you find that balance, right? How do you ensure that she's with you for you, but you are still going to constantly provide good things for her,
Right.
right? And yourself,
Right.
and
right.
keep making them better because you do want to do that.
Yeah.
You know, there's nothing more, I would say, like there's no one more generous than a man in love.
Oh,
Trust me.
that's nice.
If you ever,
That's
if there's a
sweet.
girl out there and she's like, you know, my guy doesn't spend on me, he doesn't love you.
Oh my god.
Because a guy in love is so stupid.
Yeah.
He will, if you tell her, if he can afford an island and you tell him I want an island,
Yeah.
he'll buy you the damn
I'm
island.
like that. Okay.
So but that's how it should be. I don't feel that if that person is wanting those things, that's
Yeah.
specifically gold digging, right?
Yeah.
If she's only with me because I can do that, then yes, of course, that's bad. And you want to avoid that, right?
For sure.
But I just feel that like men don't really mature until a certain age bracket.
Yeah.
And when you've reached that point is when then you should go out to look. Now, the problem with our society also is that we're very like age centric.
Really?
Yeah, I feel that.
You
like,
feel that?
I mean, like, I've always had very large gaps with the people that I've been with, usually 10 plus years.
Wow.
But what was the reason that you used to have big age gaps is a lot because the financial life and the comfort used to be provided first by only with someone who was much older because they'd got that experience and they'd got that time to make that money.
Wow.
Now that time to make that money is shrunk because now a kid who's done nothing in his life, he has a Range Rover. He can take 4 trips a year.
Yeah.
He can take you on 4 trips a year as well.
Yeah.
He can take you for endless shopping.
Yeah.
You could do it yourself as a young girl because your parents have it too. They'll give it to you. So now there's no.
Give it to me.
Yeah, I mean, like, I'm talking about.
No, I know what
Yeah,
you're saying.
so-
I know exactly
so
what you're
now
saying.
the-
I get
the-
it. You
the
sound
sh-
like, honestly, yeah.
The
yeah.
gap and the
Yeah.
shrinkage has happened because
Yeah.
now there's like no need.
You're right.
You know?
Honestly. And what is the best advice you've ever received?
It's probably one of the nuggets that my dad told me that I probably totally did not listen to him at the time.
What did he say?
He said so many things that are just like totally not PC.
This guy.
But like,
oh, okay.
you know, I think one time I told him, this was when I was 16, that I was in love with this girl,
Wow.
and he said to me, "Did you tell her that you loved her?" And I said yes, and he goes, "It's over, beta." And I was like, "Why?" He goes, "Never tell a girl you love her.
Oh my god.
Always keep her guessing." And I think that was probably some
That
great.
is the
and at that-
best advice
at
I've heard in my entire
Yeah.
life. Taliyan, sab taliyan.
So,
Wow.
yeah. My dad
dude.
had a lot of these pearls of wisdom. And
That
he
is some classic stuff,
Yeah.
dude. I love that. Smart, yeah. I'm so glad. Anyway, we have gotten you a cake. Like
cake?
the best birthday ever.
Yeah, it is.
Okay, and we got you flowers.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Yeah. Who
Oh,
doesn't love
Oh, I'm
flowers?
so glad because
It's a picture frame. Oh, wow. That was so fast. How did you get this framed so fast?
profesh.
amazing.
And show the camera.
Oh, wow. Look at that. It's a picture
Wow,
frame.
that's amazing. I love this photo.
Yeah, I'm
It
looking a
looks
little
so
tubby,
good.
though.
You have to blow a kiss.
Okay.
Mwah, mwah, mwah.
To my
Yay.
people.
Goodbye to my people.
Yeah.
Amazing. Cut.